My focus is on children's books, and for my final project I did a book about a little bird called Bradley who's glow in the dark. My name's Lorna Scobie. I do illustration and animation at Kingston University. I came up with the idea on a holiday to Bruges when I was just talking to my dad about the story ideas.
At the edge of a city.
All the way through the book, the other birds in the tree don't discover who's there, and then there's a darker threat that emerges, and the child can take like an active role in discovering the bird on each page, because he's actually glow in the dark for real. So you can put the book under the covers and then see that he's glow in the dark.
Can you see? Yeah.
It was always going to be set in a tree because I really liked the image of the tree. I was interested in the idea of exclusion and children like not being involved in other children's games, and that's why I wanted to have a single bird down at the bottom.
Can you find him? Yeah, that's him. But the other birds can't see him.
I really like the idea of children being like involved within the story. So it was really important to me that it wasn't just like a passive experience of reading the book. I wanted them to pick it up, to turn the pages themselves and actually actively look for Bradley on each page because he's quite hard to find. And yeah, interactivity is something I'm really interested in. So I've also developed this book to be an app as well for the iPad, which won the Macmillan Digital Prize 2012 this year. The Macmillan Prize is a really big award. It's what everyone who does children's books kind of wants to achieve, I think, at student level. I chose the screen print purely because the technicality of it, because I wanted to add the birds with monoprint on top. Screen printing meant that I could mass produce the images, so I could make lots of mistakes before I got to the final image. I knew I wanted to do a children's book, and then I also went into schools and spoke to the children and looked at the different ages as well, and animals was something that kept cropping up, that kids like reading books about animals.
Until the end of the night.
Where's he in this picture?
The older children kind of understood that he was different, and that's why the other birds weren't talking to him, and that was really interesting, just seeing the jump in the understanding between like a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Alex, go and have a peer.
The response was really good from children. They really liked the fact it was glow in the dark, and they were all like coming up to the front and like looking with their hands, like looking at little Bradley. This is the first one I've tried to rhyme as well, and that was a challenge, but I think it's worked out okay. I think Kingston's really made me focus on what I want to do, because when I came here I had no idea. I knew I was interested in drawing and maybe animation, but then throughout the 3 years I just carried on being encouraged to focus in certain areas, and that's when I discovered like digital children's books and this whole new area of publishing. We get a lot of tutor time, and I think that's really benefited the whole 3 years, just the fact that I know that I can talk to my tutors about any problems I've got. All our tutors work in the industry, so you feel like all the information you're getting is current. Also, I think the tutors have really helped by setting up industry talks. So we've had like visits to studios and visits to publishers. For me, the biggest support and help has come from the print rooms. There's like really good print facilities here, and the technicians know about everything about print, and so you can just go up there and really kind of experiment. I chose Kingston because I came here on an open day and I saw how much tutor time there was, and I saw that there was big studios. And for me, it was only ever going to be Kingston. I didn't apply anywhere else, so I only wanted to come here, which is good, because I got on. And then illustration advice. Don't try and be like anyone else. Just concentrate on having really good ideas, really good concepts. And then I think the illustration will come out of that. I think my next step is to head to all the publishers, show them my book, show them the way I work. I'm taking my portfolio around studios at the moment, which is good, just getting the feedback, seeing like the areas that I can work on, and just building connections, I think, keeping in touch with everyone. I want to see Bradley in the shop soon, yeah.